I was put under consultant care just because I'd had a previous miscarriage, so we were a little bit wary and a bit nervous for this pregnancy that was happening. I think it was 33 weeks. It was just a normal day at work. I was getting a little bit of a gut feeling that something wasn't quite right because he wasn't moving the same. We'd rang the birth centre and just gone up for a little check-up. Everything, they were fairly positive on the phone, just said, we'll hook you up to some monitoring and just see what's going on. And then before I knew it, we'd only been there about 40 minutes and the decision was he has to come now because his heart rate is really low. It was all systems go, loads of people came running in and me and my husband were just really took back by it because everyone's on me. Somebody's taking my pants off and my clothes off ready to get me ready for theatre. Someone's putting a needle in my hand, try to get me onto a different bed, and I'm just like, nobody's talking to me, telling me that things are going to be okay. I'm just getting whisked off. I thought I was being took to theatre because my baby had died. Because I'd been put to sleep, I'm not very good at recovering from general anaesthetic anyway. I just kind of put up a bit of a brick wall and I wanted to see the baby for myself. You don't expect anyone that small to be in an incubator with what seems like such huge tubes in the throat, and he had wires coming off him everywhere. I didn't feel that overwhelming love at first because how could I? I was feeling fear and worry constantly. I just felt this overwhelming sadness. It just overtook me. I was in my head, I was thinking, what the hell's just happened? And obviously the struggle with the bond as well. I felt like my baby didn't like me. The whole situation, I feel like that took its toll on me. I wasn't eating, I wasn't drinking. I was crying all the time. My heart was racing. I started sweating, feeling sick, just thinking back to my experience. I kept having flashbacks of just the night that he came. It was a lot of stuff. Even when I closed my eyes to go to sleep, I was hearing the emergency bell. It was like I was reliving it while I closed my eyes. It was a good maybe 5 months. I was just stuck where I didn't really want to go out. I didn't want to socialise with anyone just because of the trauma, really. I felt like the physical side of things were going to affect anything that I did. People could tell that I just wasn't my normal happy self. If I'm not smiling, somebody knows that something's wrong. So a lot of people could tell that I wasn't quite right, and I'm glad I spoke up about it. So the first steps counselling, that really, really helped. It's just really good to talk to somebody that you feel comfortable with and get it all out really and process what's gone on. The counsellor that I was seeing, she diagnosed me with birth trauma and PTSD because of the birth trauma. So you can speak to somebody either from that night or just anyone in general, and they will go through what happened when your baby was born and just explain everything that you're not sure on. You can't help it. You think that emergency buzzer is the worst outcome. Really, now what I know is they're pulling that because they need everybody to get there quickly and help safely deliver this baby. And that felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders at that time. I felt like I came away feeling not too bad about the experience because I knew so much more about it. I still feel sad that we've been through that experience and that's how my baby's life started, but it's a journey and it was his journey. I know it's not us that it just happens to, it happens to loads of people, but at the time I just felt really alone. People used to make a comment on, oh, he's a little bit small, when they asked what age he was. I'd say, oh, he was 7 weeks prem, and then a few people would say, oh, I've got a prem baby, and yeah, it was nice to know that other people had been there where you've been and felt the way you felt. I didn't think we would have another baby because of the trauma from the first one. But I got help and I got better, and we fell pregnant with my second baby, another boy. So I was excited at first, but the more real it got, so the further along that I was getting, I just kept feeling really worried and scared. But everything was going fine, all the checks were okay. They knew that I was very anxious because I'd been speaking to the perinatal team. So everyone that dealt with us was absolutely great. They would just try to keep me calm. The birth of my second baby was completely different, and I had nothing to worry about. All that worry just kind of melted away when I'd had that birth. It was fantastic. I felt on cloud nine. It feels like you're not going to get better, but you do, and you find ways to cope with it. There is light at the end of the tunnel.